Hello everyone, it's me, Serenity Star, and today I would like to talk about video games. At first, I would like to talk about my favorite video games, which are the Zelda games. I have played all of the Zelda games, starting from Super Nintendo to Wii. My favorite of all times is Ocarina of Time, followed by The Wind Waker, and then I guess Twilight Princess. I wasn't a big fan of Majora's Mask. I liked it. I liked that you could change characters, that you, by putting on a mask, could turn into a Goron or a Zora. But I found it very difficult. But I liked it still. Currently I'm playing Skyward Sword. This one. But I haven't finished it yet. I bought a Wii just for this game and Twilight Princess. That was the only purpose. Skyward Sword so far has been okay. It has been fun to play. It wasn't very difficult, I would say. But I don't know. Something about it, I can't quite put my finger on it. Something about it I don't like. There are a lot of different species, let's say so, that don't seem to fit to the Zelda saga. And what I don't like about it is that there is only one village to explore, which is Skyloft, and you have to explore it over and over again. The same village over and over again. And then there are 3 worlds you have to explore, which is a forest, a volcano area, and a desert. And then also you have to explore these regions again and again. These regions change a bit over the time, but yeah, I think it could be more versatile, I guess. I would ask you not to spoil the end for me, because as I said, I haven't finished it yet. Because when I play a game, I like to get all the items available, and I could finish the game already, but there is one item I still want to obtain before ending the game, which is a special shield, and this is very difficult to obtain, and I've tried many times without success, and now I've stopped for a while because I got frustrated, but I'll get back to it eventually. So, this is Zelda Skyward Sword. For those of you who don't know Zelda, The Zelda games are all different stories, but in all story we have Link. We play Link, that's the hero, Princess Zelda, and the bad guy, Ganondorf. And these three characters seem to share a never-ending fate. In each era, there seems to be born a boy who's destined to be the hero, which carries this symbol, the Triforce symbol, on his hand. Then there's always a girl destined to be Zelda, who also carries this symbol on the back of her hand. And there's always a bad guy, Ganondorf. Though he, as far as I could understand it, is not born, but it's always the same one. Because he gets banned over and over again by Link and Zelda, but he always, in every era, finds a way to come back and to try again, to seize the Triforce for himself. And we, who play Link, are eternally destined to stop him from doing that. Zelda Ocarina of Time, for example, for Nintendo 64. Link was born as a Kakariko, as they were called, a little forest folk of children who never grow old. But he did. He became the hero Link and saved Hyrule. In Majora's Mask, Link came to find a boy, a friend of his. He went to Clock Town, so not Hyrule, a different place in the world. But his friend got mad by a powerful mask, and Link is there to save him. In this game, actually, I don't think that was Ganondorf. I'm not mistaken. I don't remember it so well, but I think in this game, our final enemy wasn't Ganondorf, it was just the mask. Majora's Mask. Yeah. And then Wind Waker. Wind Waker was awesome. First I thought, well, because the design of the game was very different, was very comic-like, and I thought, well, I wasn't sure. At the beginning, I thought I wouldn't like the game. Link grew up on an island. And had a best friend of a girl who was destined to be Zelda, but Link, of course, didn't know that in the beginning. And the world in the Wind Waker was mostly ocean with a lot of little islands. So the world had been flooded, and Hyrule was under the water. submerged under the water, and eventually, after exploring the whole ocean, Link gets down under the water and finds Hyrule, the castle of Hyrule, which I thought was very amazing. It has to fight Ganondorf. And in Twilight Princess was very awesome. Though it had things I didn't like as well. As you can see here, we have Link, a hero, and a wolf. So in this game, Link can transform into a wolf. I did not like that so much, the transforming into a wolf, but it was okay. And it's called Twilight Princess because we have someone who helps us in this game. Her name is Midna. She's from the Twilight realm, which in form of a wolf we have to explore as well. This game took me forever to finish. Not me, I suppose. It is a very big game, and this is something I love about the Zelda games. They are very, very time intensive. And I think if you buy a game, and in my opinion, these games aren't exactly cheap, you should expect to have a lot of hours to play it. And in the Zelda games, really are very time intensive. And in this game, what I loved about it is that there are a lot of villages to explore, a huge world. You have everything from a fiery world, forest, snow, underwater, desert. You have it all. Something that I missed in Skyward Sword. You have the fiery world, forest as always, and a desert. And that's it. And at some point you go back to the forest and it's flooded with water, so you kind of have an underwater level. I hate underwater levels, by the way. But still, it's in the same forest. Just now you go swimming around and diving around. This game was very cool. The story was very good. Of all the games, I would say that I have to say the story of Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess were the best story-wise. Very interesting, very touching, emotional. Spoiler alert. Our friend Midna in Twilight Princess. This is Midna. And this is Link as a wolf. Epona, a horse. An enemy. Epona. Someone I miss in Skyward Sword. And Midna is the Twilight Princess, which we only find out at the end of the game. It has a great ending, by the way. I really liked the game controls. So yeah. Twilight Princess. And of course, we fight Ganondorf. Ganondorf at the end. Ganondorf most of the time acts through someone else, and only in the beginning it becomes clear that he is behind everything. In this case, he had been banished to the Twilight world and found means to come back. Okay, so that are my favorite games of all time, I would say. And these are almost the only games I play on consoles like Wii or PlayStation or something. I've played Harry Potter on PlayStation and Kindom Hearts, which is great as well. I never wanted to play Kindom Hearts because of the Disney characters. I thought it was silly, and it is a mixture of Final Fantasy characters, they look like, and Disney characters, and the main characters. And the main character is Sora, with his two friends. But the games really turned out to be great. Actually, Heather Feather has been talking so well about the games that I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And I do not regret it. It has a very complex and beautiful story. So, if the Disney characters have been stopping you from playing Kindom Hearts, then I can tell you, play it, because they don't play an important role in the game. Okay, but still my favorite games are PC games. I have to say that. One of my favorite PC games of all times is Monkey Island, because they're so freaking funny. This is the third, because part 1 and 2 were for DOS still, so I don't have the games, but I downloaded them. I bought them and downloaded them, obviously, online, and then, because of obviously they have a very bad quality, the DOS games, but they made a special edition of them recently, where the quality is much better, and I played that and it was very fun. The first Monkey Island is, if I'm not mistaken, The Secret of Monkey Island. The second one is LeChuck's Revenge, and then comes this, and this is my favorite part of all the parts, The Curse of Monkey Island. It's so funny. We have him, Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate, his girlfriend Elaine, the governor of Mealy Island, and the ghost pirate LeChuck, or the zombie pirate LeChuck. He's dead, but undead, and he wants Elaine. He wants Elaine to be his ghost bride, and Guybrush constantly has to prevent him from doing that. But let's say he's very clumsy. He's very, very funny. These games are the funniest I've ever played, and I love that. They have a comic style, but really cool. Here are some images. This is Elaine. Here Guybrush is at a coiffeur of pirates. Here he is on what's the island called again? I forgot the name. There are a lot of chicken. The name has something to do with chicken in Spanish, but I forgot the name now. Here's LeChuck. You have to explore a lot of islands, and the dialogues are hilarious. It's very, very funny. Then games I like to play were Runaway, a road adventure. I found them, especially the first one. The first one was very great. There's this guy, George, who is a student. I guess he's some kind of academic at least. And on his way to the university, he hit Gina. Oh, his name is Brian. And he hit Gina with his car. And then he got drawn into a story of craziness. Very amusing. Here are some screenshots. Brian trying to fix something. In the desert of Arizona. A lot of places are being explored in this game. So this was great. Then came part 2. Runaway, Dream of the Turtle. I didn't like this one so much because, I don't know, the story took some turns that were, let's say, unexpected and strange. It was okay, but it was kind of boring, I think. And the end of this game was super weird. So I was very, very curious for the third part, which was Runaway, a Twist of Fate. This one was okay again. Not as good as the first one, but much better than the second. I have to say, I didn't really like what became of Brian. He's changed too much, in my opinion. Not for better. Okay, so now let's talk about other video games I've played recently, but nowadays you buy them online, so I don't have images to show you, but I will put images of the cover here for you to see. So one of the latest games I've played were The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. That game was I liked it, but you had no help at all. And actually, at the beginning of the game, they tell you so. That this game does not hold your hand at all. They mean it. You start in the middle of a railway. You don't know where you came from, where you headed to, why you were there, what you have to do, what's your story. You don't know anything, so you have to find out everything by yourself. And there is no explanation as to how to play, how to control. So you have to find out everything by yourself, which in the beginning is extremely confusing, I think, because you have some kind of a supernatural power that you can sense things. And there's a button for it. And at first you have to find out that there is this button that you can sense things, and then you have to find out that you can only sense the whole thing, the whole event, by finding a special amount of items, which are usually 5. In that game, 5 seems to be the number. And once you've found that out, the game becomes quite great, I would say, though sometimes a little bizarre. I liked the ending. The ending was surprising and made sense to me. Okay, so what else did I play? Then I played Deponia, and I loved the games. There are 3 parts: Deponia, Chaos on Deponia, and Goodbye Deponia. The main character is Rufus. He is just super funny game. And he lives on Deponia, which is really, he lives in a world of garbage and trash. And above of Deponia floats some kind of floating island thing called Elysium. And his main goal is to reach Elysium. He wants to leave Deponia and live on Elysium. And one day, of course, Rufus was not to blame. A girl named Goal fell from Elysium and landed on Deponia. And Rufus fell desperately in love with her and tries to gain her for himself. And his plan, of course, is to leave to Elysium with Goal on the last ascension boat. Well, part 1 was good. It was rather short, but still very funny. But Chaos on Deponia and Goodbye Deponia were really, really, really good. Especially Chaos on Deponia, I think. Because Goal's personality split in 3 for reasons I don't want to explain. I don't want to spoil anything. And you have to convince all 3 parts of her, which is Lady Goal, so she's a diva, Baby Goal, who's very childish, and Spunky Goal, I think, and she's very aggressive and you have to convince all three of them to be in love with you. And that's very amusing, a very amusing story, very funny. And also there's Go's fiance from Elysium called Cletus. He's a total douchebag, but he looks exactly like Rufus. Then in Goodbye Deponia we find out that Rufus, Cletus, and another character I'm not going to reveal are clones, 3 clones. And in this game you have to clone yourself again in order to achieve 3 objectives. And so you play Rufus 3 times in 3 different places, which is, I think it's awesome because it's different from other games. So I have to say, one of my favorite games so far, the Deponia trilogy. Then I began to play the Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy. I can't tell you about the story because I quit playing it first 2 chapters. I think the story may be good, but I hated the gameplay. I really hated it because basically you have to get a certain amount of things done in a very short time. And I don't like games that stress you out in that way. So you have to try doing the same thing over and over again in order to get it right in time. So I stopped playing it. Then there was The Wolf Among Us, which I also liked very much. It is from, I think that's a comic, Fables. They're basically fable creatures from the fairy tales, like Beauty and the Beast, so on, who were banished from the fable world they were living in, and now live in our world, disguised as humans, or at least they should be disguised, but there are some who refuse to disguise themselves, and then they have to live on a farm. It's called Farm for the Animal Fables, but nobody apparently wants to go there because it's kind of a prison. So the fables that have animal form are kind of discriminated. So they have to get glamoured, that's what it's called, to look like human. For example, Beast from Beauty and the Beast got glamoured, and especially our main character, which is the big bad wolf. Bixby. And he's called Bixby. And he is, I would say he's a detective. And there are happening murders, and he tries to solve them. Very nice. It's a story telltale game, so you have to make decisions on what you answer or what you'll do at certain points of the game. And the story of the game changes according to your decisions. So I've played it 2 times now, because I wanted to see what changes according to different decisions that I make. But I could play it more often, because usually you don't have two decisions to make, two options. You have more. I like that. Well, they are very different from the fairy tales. I mean, they swear all the time and have drinking problems, money problems, and so on. Cool, I liked it. Then I played Syberia 1 and 2. That's an adventure game, point-and-click adventure game. I like point-and-click games, and I liked Syberia, but I liked the first one more than the second. Especially, there's basically this woman, she's a lawyer and has to get a contract for a toy manufacturing factory, toy automatons. But in order to get the contract ready, she needs to find the heir of the factory who is missing. And then she goes on a journey to find him. And on this journey she finds out a lot of things. A lot of automatons, different worlds, you could say. And the main goal of Hans, which is the heir, is to reach Syberia, a place nobody knows exists. And in part 2, they get there together. It's a beautiful game, but I guess the second one was a little too boring. Maybe just a little. I think I've heard that this year the third and final part is going to be released, so maybe this will be good. Okay. Oh, and then I played horror games. Man, I like horror, but they really freaked me out. I played Amnesia, The Dark Descent. And boy, I couldn't play these games more than 20 minutes at a time because I really got scared. And I'm not easily scared. I don't know. So in The Dark Descent, you don't know who you are, where you are, and what you're supposed to do. During the game, find hints about who you are and what your objective is in the game. It's the first person view, and it's very dark. And you find tinder boxes to light candles, and you have a lantern, but a lantern that needs to be refilled with lantern oil. And when you're out of oil or out of tinder boxes, then sometimes you're in complete darkness, which would be scary enough, but the character you're playing loses his mind in the dark. You have an insanity level, and the darker it is, the crazier he gets. The air starts to shimmer. She starts seeing and hearing things, scary things, spooky. And in this castle, people have been tormented. You see bodies everywhere, defiled bodies sometimes, and skulls, skeletons, bones lying around, blood pools, blood puddles all over the place. And that, for me, that would have been enough. But then came the part I did not enjoy about the game. There were enemies, some sort of monster, ghost things, and they could kill you. which doesn't matter because you would always start and then some meters away or so. But I found it very disturbing that you would have to look around corners to see if there was an enemy, and I was scared to go on because there could be an enemy, and I was so tense. Psycho game, really. But it was really good, I have to say. Super spooky, but good. But the ending, there were 3 different endings. You could, and according to what your decision was, there were 3 different endings. I tried all 3 of them. But none of those endings I found satisfying. And that's kind of frustrating because to go through a game like that, I struggle with myself because I get scared, and then at the end I want a reward in form of a good ending. And then I played part 2, Amnesia, a Machine for Pigs. And somehow, I don't know why, I found that much scarier even than the first one, which I don't think makes much sense, since the environment shouldn't be as scary as in the first part, because you're starting the journey in a mansion, apparently your mansion, but again, you don't know who you are, what your what it is you gotta do. You find that out while playing the game. And in A Machine for Pigs, apparently there is a machine somewhere, and your 2 boys, your 2 children, are trapped somewhere inside that machine, and you get them out. What changed from the first part is that you don't have a sanity level anymore, so it doesn't matter if it's dark or not, your sanity level wouldn't lower, so there wouldn't be this hallucinations. And you had a lantern that worked with a battery, I guess, so you didn't need to refill it. It would work at all times. That way I was more scared to play that game, but I was really scared playing that game. At some point you descend into that huge machine, and it's called a machine for pigs because apparently they created a mixture of man with pig, and they would be everywhere, and they could kill you as well, and they made these scary noises, screams. I don't know, it freaked me out. At some point of the game, I have to admit, I considered not playing until the end, because it was torture playing the game. Silly, but it's true. And I thought, if the ending of this game isn't good, I will go crazy. And I have to say, the ending wasn't good, but it was much better than in The Dark Descent. Yeah. All in all, I would say The Machine for Pigs was better than The Dark Descent. Made more sense, at least. You would understand things better. Okay. Let's see, what else have I played? Oh yeah, at the moment I'm playing Among the Sleep, which is similar with Amnesia, but still very different, because I find that I think a kind of game like that hasn't been made before, and because of that I wanted to play it. You are a toddler, yeah, and well, something goes on at night that strange things are happening, and then you want to find your mother, but she's missing. So you're on a mission to find her. And then so you walk around the house with your teddy bear who helps you. And you pass through weird worlds, have to find items in order to get forward. Of course, it's not as scary as Amnesia is, because it is really psycho. But it is still scary because it's also dark and there are enemies as well, which I don't like, but they're not by far as scary as in Amnesia. I have to say, so far in the beginning I thought that it was boring because you were basically just walking around the house and trying to find your mother, and there were glasses breaking and stuff, but nothing really serious. But then suddenly you entered a sort of memory realm, and things got better. I started playing that yesterday, so I can't tell you much about it yet, but so far I'm enjoying it. And finally, I have played the latest part of Monkey Island, called Tales of Monkey Island, and I was so thrilled when I heard that they would do that, because I thought after the fourth part, which was oh god, what was it called? The Secret of Monkey Island? Was it The Secret of Monkey Island? Big LeChuck's Revenge, The Curse of Monkey Island. I think the fourth part was The Secret of Monkey Island. Oh god, I don't remember. Well, I thought after the fourth part there would be no more, and I was so sad. And then so many years after that, they made a new part, which is the Tales of Monkey Island, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Guybrush Threepwood, a mighty pirate with the same voice, which was very important to me. The story was very funny again, different from the other parts, but it had everything you want to have in a Monkey Island game, so I was very glad to play it. You had, of course, LeChuck, you had Elaine, Guybrush, you had pirates, you had sword fighting, spitting, everything a pirate does, and I loved it very much. Well, I would like to hear your opinions about the games I have mentioned in this video, and it would also be nice of you to suggest me some games. Maybe by the list of games I have quoted here, you can see what kind of games I'm interested in. I like adventure games, especially point-and-click adventures, like Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I forgot Sherlock Holmes. I played all of the Sherlock Holmes games and I love them. Especially Nemesis. Nemesis was my favorite one because it was so mystic. I like mystic things. I did not like what's the name? Lupin something. It was a great game, but it was very difficult and the story wasn't so interesting to me. Crimes and Punishment, the latest one, was great, but I have to say I found it rather short. It was different because in the other games there was one story, so one crime you had to solve, and in Crimes and Punishments, as the name suggests, you play various different stories, so there are various different crimes that you have to solve, and then you decide for a punishment. It was great, but I really found it rather short. I think it could have been more. I don't know. Well, so games like that, and horror games, though, they freak me out totally. Fantasy, like the next game I want to play is the Dreamfall chapters. I've played The Longest Journey a long time before, but that was kind of too weird for me. But still, I want to see what the Dreamfall chapters, how they are. I want to play a game called Lucius, a game called Schism, Still Life, Phantasmagoria, Oddworld, and 1953 KGB Unleashed. Maybe you can tell me which of these games are worth playing and which are not. And I want to play the Tales from the Borderlands. The first episode is already available, but I want to wait until more episodes are released, because I know I would get frustrated after playing the first episode. Okay, well, you see, I'm a nerd. I play a lot of video games. I love playing video games. When I have time for it, I could play all day. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time to do that. So, I would appreciate your comments, your opinion. Yeah, I hope you liked it. And finally, to send you off to bed, I would like to light some matches, as some of you have requested. Why don't you make a wish? Think about something. Make a wish. So I wish you all